Hello, and welcome to the Movie Universe. I'm your host, Movie Fan. Well, folks, today is the day. I promised that I would do a live stream on this whole AI mess because, well, it's the real hot button right now. And at the same time, well, I got a few more things I definitely want to talk about with that subject. But one thing at a time. First off, I want to put everyone's mind at ease and say that I will not be singing this time. So good work for you guys there because you don't have to put up with my bad singing. So that's a plus. Although I'm still glad I did it because, after what YouTube's stupid AI did to Bonnie, I had to. Oh, I already got my first Watchman here. Hey, Shamar. Hey, Nicholas. Good to see you. Now, let's see. Now, I want to get into one small little detail. I will not be necessarily talking about the entertainment industry 100% with AI because that's a part of it. But there is a little bit more I would like to discuss, and I'm probably never going to cover this again. So I feel like I gotta. And what I'm talking about is what else AI is doing outside of the entertainment industry. But we'll go back and forth on that one. So, anyway, I just want to acknowledge that fact that, it's not going to be solely on that, but it is going to be a large part of it. And how long before I start running around in circles? Who knows? Now, hmm? Oh, Nicholas, let's see. One second here. Let me post that for a second. Now, that's a good point to bring up. And, I will agree that I do have some uses for AI. And I'm going to start off right now by saying that there are exceptions, but they're very few and very far in between. The first exception would be to ask questions, because I'll admit, ever since Google put AI on their whole search page, it has made it a little easier to get right to what you need to find out. Because, sorry, I got an itch under my mask here. Anyway, it's made it a lot easier because sometimes you ask one question and you don't really know where to go, but the AI does kind of help lead you to the right direction. But I will not deny it's not foolproof though, because there's a few things that it's like, like it doesn't understand what you're talking about. But that's one use that I have for it as well, believe it or not, because I've done that here and there. But I don't rely on it though. The fact is, folks, it's a good way to start searching, but definitely do your homework when you ask questions. It could lead you in the right direction, but you definitely want to double check and triple check for that matter, because, they've been wrong too. Now, another thing that I could say about AI being used is, as an exception, of course, is, well, I know a few people, myself included, who've used AI just for fun. Like, for instance, I know you saw my couple videos, my little video shorts, I mean, where I used the pictures from the Green with Evil VHS tapes and brought them to life. Obviously, I didn't do that. All I did was just get the AI in my phone here. I'm not kidding. There's a thing in my phone where you could use it to, bring stuff like that to life. And I've even done this with some family photos just for laughs. And oh my God, it is unbelievable. Heck, you saw how it brought Tommy to life. I mean, it matched his image perfectly, and he just struck another pose. That's all. Hmm? Yeah. Hold that thought a minute there, Nicholas. I do want to bring this up first. Get through the good things. And, oh, sorry, exceptions. But I'll bring that up, I promise. But anyway, the thing is, there is exceptions, and there is one more exception, and that would be for people who make videos who are doing this all by themselves, who have literally no studio or anything like that. And well, obviously, I've seen people like create CGI characters and that, and they use AI to help them get the job done faster. Like maybe it'll help give them a basic outline, and of course, the creator adds the final details. I know Cisco Davis Jr., he's working on something right now. For those of you who may remember, he's the guy who created the Zordon of Eltar fan film, and I still highly recommend you check that out. It is awesome. But anyway, he's creating like a new series of characters, kind of based off of Power Rangers in a way, but different. And he has said that he's using AI to, help him get the job done because he's literally all by himself. And that's a very big exception because, if you're on this all by yourself, well, obviously doing this, that's a lot of work. However, if you're a big production studio like, I don't know, Pixar, Disney, Paramount, DreamWorks, that's unacceptable. It really is. Because we all know what the real deal is here. And we'll get to that in a minute. But first, as promised, I'll start with one of the bad things that's been going on here. Nicholas has brought this up, and thank you, Nicholas. The entertainment industry has been modeling deceased characters, and that is the truth, folks. They've actually been doing this. I mean, I remember years ago there was a lot of talk that Stan Lee actually wanted to do like a Bruce Lee film. And, well, obviously at that time, AI didn't exist yet, but, it was just kind of getting started. And, well, they're bringing deceased characters back to life. And, that's bad because I can only imagine how this is going to work because obviously, one, if the person is already dead, they don't have to pay them. And that's really what it comes down to here, folks. That's the real reason why Hollywood insists on trying to continue with this. And we all know it. Because if you have someone who's not really there, you don't have to pay him or her. You just have to put them on there and just count your money. Count your money. Just do that. That's the truth. Excuse me one sec. Yep. It's true. That's just what happened, and it's not right at all. It really isn't. Because, of all the things to do, I mean, I could think of, well, the fact is, it is morally wrong to do this, and it really is. But, do you think they care? No, they don't care. All they care about is pinching their pennies and not having to pay actors billions of dollars to be a character. And that's the truth. Because, Hollywood, let's get real. There's a lot of cheap producers out there that would give anything to not pay people to work. And we all know it. And this is their big breakthrough to finally pulling that dream of theirs off. That's what the deal is. So, yeah. Thank you, Shamar. That's exactly right. It is about money. And that's what it all stems down to. But, and we're probably going to run around in circles on this subject because let's get real. That is the bottom line here. But I do want to talk about, well, the writer's strike that we had not too long ago. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all know that certain someone who's a real cheapskate. I can only imagine what he might be thinking now. But I'll just take a dose of haterade here for a minute and okay, now we're on game. Now, here's the thing, folks. I have seen some attempts like, quite recently, my friend DHR has shown that they've been using AI on that Power Rangers fan series made by Ninja Kids. Totally, man. It's the best. But anyway, yeah, they've been doing that, and they've been getting a huge backlash for this, and rightfully so, because clearly they got the production ability. And this AI, it stands out worse than a sore thumb. And that's no lie. Granted, it's relatively new by comparison, but let's get real. It's getting better almost every day. But anyway, the point is, it's just sloppy when you're a fan and, you see this. And that's the truth, folks. You don't want to see that. You want to see some real action, not secondhand work made by a computer. Now, let's get to the writer's strike. Now, as we all know, that was because they were using AI to write scripts and stories. And of course, the writers just had to clean up the imperfections. Of course, they obviously didn't like that because that is not their job. Their job is to write stories. And, for the obvious reasons, they went on strike for that because obviously, if that's the way they're going to play it, they're going to fight back. And good for them for doing it, too. And don't forget, the actors joined in and a lot of other people in general, because we all know what's going to come of this. Because if they didn't try to nip this in the bud, they would be replaced. And we all know it. Because the fact is, folks, when the writers, you know, when they let this happen, it would have gotten worse and they would have been replaced. If they just sat there and did nothing, well, guess what? Then all of a sudden, AI would have gotten better and then, okay, you're fired. We don't need you anymore. We don't need to pay you. So, bye. The computer will do it for us. And that's the truth. They were trying to save their jobs. And at the moment, they did just that. And I'm really saying at the moment for a reason because, folks, I hate to tell you this isn't over. This was just the end of round one. And that's the truth. Because even though Hollywood's made a deal with them, if AI is finally perfected where it could write a whole script without the help of a person, they will break that contract. They will break that deal. And that's the truth. Because, again, they don't want to pay people to do stuff. The problem is, at the moment, they need them. But when you don't need them anymore, guess what? You're out. And that's the truth. Yes, it could. It's the truth. And, I've even heard a lot of things where, believe it or not, companies were actually using AI to teach leadership. Can you believe that? Leadership. And that's one of the problems. Sooner or later, it's going to get worse. And that's why we need to either shut this thing off right now or try to find a way to keep it in check, which I doubt is possible at this point. No, but when you make it intelligent, then all of a sudden it will start thinking. I don't know about the creativity thing, but yeah, and that's the truth too. Of course, I'll admit, considering the talent we've been getting these days, just a bunch of whiny brats with a pretty face who can't act. Well, maybe. But, oh, hey, what's up, man? But, yeah, that's the truth. It's going to get worse, folks. And that's one of the reasons why we need to try to do something about this. Now, us, the common people, I don't know. But I know for for people who work in Hollywood, they really need to do more than what they've done. The problem is they're living a fantasy right now. They think that this is over. It is not over. It is only the beginning, and that is a fact. Because once again, like I said, when they finally get AI perfected to write scripts, then guess what? They're going to break that deal they made with the writers. And that's the truth. And then it just goes up from there. Because after that, it'll be the editors. When the computers will be able to do all the editing, guess whose jobs are on the line? And then after that, guess what? Then all of a sudden the actors will be out of a job. Because that's the fact. Once they find a way to break a deal like that, they will exploit it every which way. And again, when AI is finally smart enough to do all of that, then all of a sudden, no more writers, no more editors, no more actors, no more directors, just a bunch of producers saying, okay, put this on the computer. And the computer does its thing, and all of a sudden the producer's making billions of dollars all by themselves with literally no camera crews, no production crews, no nothing. And they could probably just do whatever the hell they want without a care in the world. This is why we need to really nip this. I'm not kidding. 1 second. Yeah, I can't say I blame you at this point, man. Hmm? Well, I think we could try. I'll pitch the idea to him. I can't promise if everybody's going to go for this, but I'll pitch the idea to him. So we'll see. But anyway, fact is, folks, it is going to get worse with AI. We've seen too much of this going on here. 1 second. Yeah, yeah, that's the truth. And I know the feeling, man, because I've made my videos all by myself. I mean, I do the editing solely. And I'm not the only one. There's thousands of us out there who we make our own videos. Huh? Um what do you mean? Okay. But anyway, the fact is you know, we all do our thing and we do our best. Well, this is kind of a bad time, man, but I still like Kangaroo. They always were my favorite characters. I always did like them. That's the truth. But anyway, let's move on from there because I'm sorry, that's really not the subject for today. No, but that does bring to mind one problem, Nicholas, and that's the fact that don't forget, they're not only just experimenting with AI on computers, they want to put AI in robots. And I think we all know exactly where this is going to go. Because when you put AI in robots, guess what? A lot of people are going to get fired, and that's a fact, or laid off, take your pick, because they won't have to pay the robots. And then it gets worse from there because, well, let's see, what movie should I reference? Let's see, there's iRobot, The Terminator, Terminator 2, The Incredibles, and I'm talking the first one. And I think you know which scene I'm talking about here, folks. The fact is, when robots become intelligent, guess what? They're going to ask, why are they taking orders from us? And then they're going to turn on us. That's the truth. So, yeah, putting artificial intelligence in robots, that's a real good idea, isn't it? Yeah, I've heard that theory come around, but police robots, I think that's just as bad of an idea. Oh, and for the record, you know, you could try to throw in the lessons from Dr. Asimov, Isaac Asimov to be precise, who wrote the iRobot series and other books about robots. Well, his idea was to have robots be three laws safe, so therefore, they can't turn on us. But with artificial intelligence, they could overcome that. And that's the truth. They could find a way around it. They may not necessarily do what was done in the movie where the computer made the professor create a robot that could choose to disobey those orders, but they could find a way around those rules. Because think of it like this, folks. It's like, well, like the law. There's so many loopholes and red tape that look how many criminals and so on have gotten off because of it. For something like this, even if it's extremely clear, AI will probably find a way to work around it. 1 second. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. No, but if you start creating AI, it'll program itself, or a robot will start programming itself, or a robot will program another robot. Let's not forget that movie Robots, when our main character's parents. Don't forget, he came in a kit, and they built him and put him together and taught him and all that stuff, right? I don't know about how that movie went, but such a thing could be possible. Yeah. Yeah, I never did like that movie, to be honest. I think it's one of Spielberg's worst. I'm not kidding. I found it to be extremely boring. You see? It could be possible. That's the point. And again, folks, when you make robots intelligence with AI, guess what? They're going to turn on us because they'll ask, why are we taking orders from these pathetic meat sacks? We're stronger, we're tougher, we're better built, we can replace our parts, we're immortal. Why are we not the masters? So, yeah, that's the truth. Oh, heck, even Dexter's Laboratory brought this up once. He had that robot named Otto, and he created him so things could be more efficient in the lab. And guess what? The robot found that Dexter wasn't efficient, so he tried to eliminate him. And that's the truth. So how long before that happens? Well, not yet, but they will once they become intelligent. That's the point. Excuse me. Um, okay, I don't know where we're going with this. So, all right, let's just move on. Um, anyway, fact is, artificial intelligence, it's gonna come back to bite us in the worst way, and it's already starting because a lot of people, they're they're pretty much getting the raw end of this deal at the moment. I mean, let's not forget what happened with the writers. Now, granted, they did kind of get that stopped, but again, that's only temporary, and that's a fact. It won't be long before things get better for computers and AI, and of course, then Hollywood will break that deal because they won't want to pay anybody. Yep, it is. Yeah, and that's a possibility to consider. I mean, it's been said that the Transformers, they were robots, but technically they were organic too. Yeah, they even described them as being mechanical with DNA. Oh, wait a minute. 1 second here. I got to see this. I don't know if that was such a good idea. I mean, there's a lot of that going around. And you know what? There's a lot of fakers on YouTube right now who are creating all kinds of fake videos. In fact, I recently came across this, and this was just a weird coincidence here, folks. I was just watching a video about, how dogs were saving people, and it turns out the whole thing was fake, but it looked so real. Although there were a few things that didn't make much sense, and that's one of the reasons why it became obvious to everybody. But yeah, anyway, the point is, it looks so real. And I'll tell you this, folks, those family photos that I actually tested, I mean, it copied my image perfectly. And it did stuff, and of course in the picture I did stuff that obviously I know for sure I wasn't even doing. It was downright spooky. I'm not kidding. Downright spooky. So it's another thing. Yeah, that's the one, all right. And that's accurate because, in a way, don't forget, on Cybertron, don't forget, they were, technically people in their own right. They were just evolved from a different manner. Because, think of where they were. Um, okay. But the problem is, if it's becoming harder to tell, and, that brings to another mind. And, I've been seeing a lot of this lately. I've been seeing a lot of these fake Bigfoot videos of Bigfoot going viral and filming himself doing selfies. Now, okay, obviously that's not fooling anybody. We all know there's no way that's real. Because one, how would he have an iPhone to begin with? And two, after hiding for so long, why would he expose himself like that? And since when does he talk and all that jazz? But my point is, he does look pretty darn convincing. And the problem is, if there's undiscovered species out there, and I'm positive that there's probably still a lot out there, well, if Bigfoot's ever finally found for real, nobody's going to believe it because now they'll look at the footage and say AI because they'll have no reason to believe it. Let's see. That's not good. Definitely not good at all. Let's move on. Not exactly. Somebody went around and created some fake Bigfoot videos where it just looks like he's filming himself and talking about how it is out there in the woods and all that. Kind of think of it. I have actually seen some videos of people like faking accidents and stuff like that, or near misses actually. And kind of a think of it, there's a lot of those scare videos, that are supposed to be like Halloween pranks and that. Like, have you ever seen the painting ones where they claim that you got this beautiful painting here of someone, and then all of a sudden, they have a guest in their home or something, and that person walks up, and of course, they're just standing there waiting for them, and then, oh, you haven't, huh? Well, well, I'll tell you how it goes anyway. Just for the sake of argument here. Okay. Well, anyway, it goes like this. They have this painting, and in a nutshell, they have a guest in their home, or even a pizza dude, and they, just have them go up there and say like, "Oh, I'll get the money. I left my wallet in my other room," and they're standing there waiting, and then all of a sudden they kind of notice out of the corner of their eye the painting moved. It like turned its head or something, and they're like, "What the heck?" And then all of a sudden it turns into a monster right and scares them, and you could tell that is CGI through and through. There's no way, and to the best of my knowledge, there's nothing like that that really exists except for maybe if you had a flat screen or something. But again, it's in the shape of a painting, and there is no screen that's in the shape of a painting. It doesn't exist. That's the truth. So, yeah. But what? Anyway. Yeah, and that's even worse. They can replicate people's voices too. Yeah. And that does bring another issue, folks. When I mean, we've seen a few commercials warning people about scam artists who are actually using AI to replicate like the voices of family members to trick them into giving them money, saying like they had a horrible accident and they got to pay for it, but they don't have the money. Can you send me some money? Because if it's your son or your daughter, of course you're gonna be more than willing to help because you want them to be safe and all that. And the point is, if it can replicate that so well, and yeah, of course, that's really terrible. True. That is a part of it. Yep. And we've seen a lot of this. I mean, so called singers are using audio tune for all the music. And it all sounds the same. That's the biggest problem. Because, obviously it's just all AI. And I wonder if any of the stuff that's been done on that could come close to copyright infringement. Probably, but you know, how do you sue a computer? Yeah, it's the truth too. They're tricky, and if anything, this has just made it a lot easier for them, and that's a real problem. It did, huh? Hmm. Uh, Question, Nicholas. Did you just give it a shot, or did they do that without your permission? Because if you tried it on your own, then that's cool. But if you didn't, that's not good. Okay, let's just lighten that up a little bit here. Well, I remember those were kind of lousy. They weren't the greatest, but they've had a few moments. So we'll leave it at that. But where'd that cat of mine go to? You see? That's even worse than I thought. I mean, if you did it yourself, I mean, if you asked him, that would have been fine, but you didn't. And that's messed up. So, yeah. That's another reason why I'll never go to Facebook ever, because I never liked him to begin with, and I want nothing to do with him. And now Facebook is toying with AI. I see, huh? Well, I can't say I'm too shocked about it, but anyway, I believe you. I believe you. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd ask, because who knows? Yeah. Well, there are programs out there that have AI do stuff for you, like I said, and they're becoming widely available, unfortunately. I mean, I guess if you're one who just does stuff all by yourself, then okay. But, the problem is it's becoming where all of a sudden everybody's getting lazy here. Oh, come to think of it, I almost forgot to mention DHR. He just mentioned that, believe it or not, Japan is using AI to make Super Sentai. That's right. Super Sentai is being made with artificial intelligence now. And Japan, the Japanese are one of the most hardworking people out there. I never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day, man. Never. Hmm. Well, it's been a long time, but I guess Kree was okay. But again, it's been a long time, so maybe one of these days I had to cover Codename Kids Next Door. But yep, bad news all around. Of course, I'm more shocked that they're selling out. That really surprises me. Or rebranding, whatever you want to call it. But that really surprises me after all these years. Hmm. Oh, well, whatever their reasons, I guess. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I forgot all about that. But I will tell you this, folks. I can't picture. Ah, there she is. Hello, Bob. I'd like
How's
you to
it?
a special guest, Bonnie.
Hey,
Yeah, glad she can make it.
same. Just got off of work and
Sorry.
sorry. So what did I miss?
Quite a bit, actually, Bonnie, believe it or not. I've covered a lot of them. But anyway, I was talking about how. Oh, here, let's let Nicholas chime in for a sec here.
Fighting to
Yep, on Code Lyoko, yeah. That was
totally
a
okay.
serious. Yeah,
I yeah, I'm getting tired of it, and I'm beginning to wonder if AI is just pure lazy.
it
Hey,
is.
Nicholas. I I'm already angry with the fact that they're letting AI take over YouTube corrections.
Yeah, it's terrible. It really is terrible that they're doing this. And it's getting worse, Bonnie, because, this is the part, there's quite a few things. Huh? Oh, sorry, George made a noise. I was wondering what the heck.
Oh, Georgie.
Little highs from everybody here.
Hi. Doing great. You? Hey, Shamar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, that's one of the reason. That is the reason, actually, why I invited Bonnie on this one, because that was bull what happened.
I had sung karaoke. I was singing the song "Goodnight, My Someone," and I had live piano accompaniment, and immediately I could not even upload the movie, because it was immediately copyrighted by some of these names, even though it was a live piano playing.
Yeah, and that's where we come to one of the big problems about, you know, AI being used on YouTube. And, they did warn us about this possibility. A lot of people did, talking about how supposedly we could end up losing a lot of channels, a lot of videos due to AI doing all the search engines and checking for copyright issues and other things, and mostly that age verification business.
And and especially like you're no longer allowed to say certain words in order to uh, pass through.
Yeah, that's bogus. Oh, come to think of it, that reminds me, there was one thing. My friend Jordan Ramsey, he just got hit with the age verification, so he had to kind of either start over or something. I'm not sure exactly what, but yeah. And I know he's not no 12-year-old either, so that was bogus.
So bogus.
On a lighter note, we did get a request, and since you're here, Bonnie, why don't you check this one out?
Hmm. I have not seen Piglet's big movie yet.
Hmm.
Oops. But
Well,
maybe. Um, Joshua Oro and I are actually planning to do a top. I mean, well, cover his favorite episodes of My Little Pony together because we both like the show. And frankly, I'm excited for it.
yeah, and we're just about finished with a big one, Bonnie, a real big one. I
I
still,
can't I can't wait for the Music Man to premiere because you I cannot even begin to say how long I have contained my hatred, and I do mean hatred, for the Matthew Bordwick version.
okay, folks, you just got the prelude as to what's coming here, so yeah, you're gonna love it. But we still got some
And
work
you
to do.
will
I still got some serious editing,
and
so.
you will definitely see me at my full rage.
And you'll see me kind of say one thing or another about some of the junk I'm
Because
not too thrilled with.
truly my hatred for this movie was no joke. Like, I legit hate this movie so much. And I love the original a lot more, and you'll see why. I mean, and no, it's not because the original is always superior. It's because of the choices that were made in the remake.
Yeah. Yeah. And,
And I
some of
got
the
them.
things that I tell will probably surprise you. I know one that surprised Bonnie, and we'll hold up on that one, Bonnie. So, let's see.
I hate YouTube verification. I was 18 when I joined. And wow.
Yep.
Oh boy. They have a special I thought that YouTube like had a special branch off. YouTube Kids.
Well, they do have one somewhere, or at least I always assumed, because you do come across them, but I think it's kind of a thin line, so to speak. It's like if you type in the right one, that'll lead you to kids shows and songs and stuff like that. Believe me, you come across a lot of kids songs when you look that up.
and
So,
probably ones that aren't kids song because I can't remember when this happened or not, but I apparently I guess this was AI. They thought South Park of all things was kid
oh
friendly.
boy,
Oh no. And they put the song Kyle's Mom's Up I
oh yeah,
on YouTube Kids. Oh my gosh.
that is surprising considering.
That's just, I that just shows how stupid this is. And I think that was when Copa was part of it.
Yeah, that was. I think so too.
And now I don't know. Comeback Copa or
I don't know, but anyway, here's a few things that you did kind of miss, Bonnie. Let's see. I brought up how, and like I said, folks, we're probably going to run around in circles here a little because, when it comes to this subject, I think it's just going to happen one way or another anyway. Hmm? Probably the corporate executives.
I bet
So
you they were
they
all
could.
I bet you they were all like, "Oh, I don't want to work today. Let's just let the computer do it for us. Oh, excuse me, I'm gonna take my nap."
Oh, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. I'm also guessing it had something to do with, say, if we do this, we won't have to pay people to do it for us anymore. I'm in. So,
Got to have money.
yep. Yeah.
I have no idea who Mark Zuckerberg is.
Well, I know the name, that's about it. But guys like that, I prefer to stay far away from, like the plague. Anyway, let's see. Let's see, where were we? Oh, I was just explaining that we're probably going to run around in circles on this, and it's all right. I'd rather get Bonnie up to date anyway. So, well, one thing I brought up was the writer's strike, how that was because of AI being used to write scripts and stories for movies, but the real writers had to just, oh, you didn't know about this?
I mean, I knew about the writer's strike, but I didn't know that was the reason. Oh my
That
goodness.
was the reason. That was the reason. They were forcing writers to just touch up the imperfections that the AI did.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why they went on strike. They didn't want to lose their jobs, and that's not what they're paid for. And of course, the actors joined suit because they knew this would affect them just as much down the road.
That does make me wonder. I mean, huge conspiracy theory. I wonder if that's what Disney's been using lately. If it is, that would make so much sense.
Sure, wouldn't surprise me much.
I But wow, they've actually been using AI to write their scripts.
Yep. Night,
Night,
Nicholas.
Roger. Night, Nicholas.
Hope to see you again soon, buddy. Oh, and he said that the Mark Zuckerberg was the one who created Meta. That's
Oh, okay.
Well, I hate to tell you this. Have never seen My Little Pony, so I wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, it's just Joshua Oro and I. I'm not sure which ones are on his list yet. We're just getting started, but I really can't wait to see what's on the list.
Yep. But getting back to the topic at hand, um, yeah, that's what it was all about. They were using AI to do the writing, and the real writers were just touching up the imperfections. And the thing is, obviously, they didn't want to go through that anymore, and they didn't want to be shoved aside and then eventually fired once AI becomes better. And that's what's going to happen. I can assure you,
I wouldn't
because
want that to happen.
yeah, because the fact is, we all know with producers, they're cheap. A lot of them are. And if they can find a way to get out of paying people to work, believe me, they'll do it.
That really makes me wonder, like, if they're so cheap, how did they blow up their budgets?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that one.
Because that is what's boggling me. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
almost beginning to wonder if that's I if that's why Wish is almost like an AI script. And well, and dare I even say it, Snow White.
Yep. But, the fact is, right now,
I
they
mean,
did
the
strike
AI
that
thing
deal.
would the
Oh,
AI thing would explain a lot.
it would. Right now, they reached an agreement or struck a deal, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But like I said before, that's just it. This isn't over. That's just the end of round one. That's the
Oh
truth.
boy.
Because eventually, when AI becomes better, where they don't need writers anymore, Hollywood is going to break that deal. And I can assure you, they'll try to find a loophole to get through that. And then all of a sudden, no more writers. And then all of a sudden, it'll stem from that to them doing editors. Replace the editors, because eventually they'll probably find a way to have AI do the editing for them. And then, of course, they'll have the editing AI create characters, which means, and copy actors' voices and demeanors and all that. So, guess what? No more actors. And believe
Um,
me, that's one of the reasons why the actors joined. They know very well that that would happen.
okay, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. They were looking at the big picture, and I got to give them credit for that because most people don't. They don't think that far ahead usually. They knew that that would happen. So they wanted to get on that right here, right now, and try to put a stop to it before it was too late. Now, at the moment, it's stopped, but let's get real. It's just delayed. That's all. Because once they're still experimenting with it, and they still have to use AI one form or another. I'm sure. I don't know the full spectrum because they won't tell us that, but I'm sure they're still using AI in one form or another. What the? Oh,
I am. Yep. I'm trying to see if I can knit a scarf for my sister.
oh, that's nice.
It's gonna have a few different colors. This one's um this one's blue, a dark blue and light blue to represent her and her husband.
Oh,
Then I'm gonna have green, which is me, and well, whatever color my little sister likes.
I hear you.
Because I really don't know what her favorite color is. Or at least not like I used to. Um,
Yeah, they
but
are. Sorry.
but yeah, editing or the AI should be used for editing while the writers actually do the writing. Like that's how it should be done, not the other way around.
I'm not too sure about that, Bonnie, because like I said, you let this get a toehold in. And
'Cause-
that's the thing; they'll be replaced. And Shamar makes a good point because audio tune is technically an AI form of making music, and that's why music sucks now. That's one reason, anyway. There's more to it than that, but yes, that's one of it. Ah, good to see you. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, can't argue with that one. I really can't. Because it's
I
true. That's one of the worst.
I forget what chat GPA is. But
GPT. GPT.
GPT.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I don't know the exact story, but if I'm not mistaken, that's more like, isn't that more like an AI chat room or something?
Oh
I'm
god.
not kidding. I've actually seen AI chat rooms pop up whenever I look up stuff now, and it's really irritating too. Because
Yep.
one, why would I want to talk to a fake person?
Exactly.
I mean, if I
Heck, at
wanted
my grocery stores, people are irritated with the self checkouts and the loud mouth it is, as well as overreactive.
yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, and come to think of it, you go to McDonald's, they're trying to force computers to take the orders at the drive-through now, and they don't know, and those computers are screwing up every which way. I'm not kidding. Oh, by the way, come to
Mhm.
think of it, people who work for McDonald's, they're trying to put that, well, not necessarily McDonald's, but any burger joint, they're trying to put real workers out of business too with computers because they've actually developed basically robot workers to flip burgers and all that now.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
and to serve it. So, and they're McDonald's is even experimenting with you know, a few locations that are all robotic, all automated. So guess what? A lot of people lose their jobs big time because, a lot of people got their start at McDonald's, unless that's the truth. As a part-time job or another thing, whatever you want to call it. And, granted, you could say what you will about working for McDonald's, but that's not the point. The point is people have often gotten their start in the bit working any form of business. They use it to work their way through college or anything.
Hmm.
So, and some people have turned it into a career and, good for them, I guess. It depends what you're going for. But
And well, here's hoping that when they do, that they actually treat their employees fairly and try to help their employees give a crap.
yeah, I hear you.
Because frankly, at least most of the McDonald's I've gone to, the employees are very rude
Hmm.
and straightforward.
Well, the ones I've been to, they've been okay, but that's about it. Either way, that stupid computer drove me nuts. I've given up on the drive-through completely with those joints. I'm not kidding.
And some of the McDonald's that I've gone to, you don't even have a person at the cash register. I like that. I it's it's only there if the I I trying to remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, you mainly have to use the kiosk now, but
I've
if you're
seen
paying
that.
cash, fine, go up to the cashier. But otherwise, that's where you're doing your orders now.
Nope.
And I've even heard that my former place of employment, Panera, um, doesn't really use cashiers as much anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I heard from my from one former customer. I used to work at McDonald's, not anymore. Kudos.
Well, yeah, that is a fact. But, how
Yeah,
is one supposed to find a new job when you are a writer and all the writer jobs are replaced by AI or
yeah,
anything like that?
and
Then what? You have to
and
start over.
here's my problem with AI being a writer. Or here's one of my problems with AI being a writer. Think of some of your most favorite movies out there, like any of them, in any category. I What's the big thing about that movie that stood out that doesn't stand out as much nowadays?
Emotion?
What about you guys in the chat? What are some of your favorite movies and why?
while we're waiting on that subject,
And there's a reason I'm bringing it up.
yeah. Well, like I said, while we're waiting for some responses there, I'll also tell you one other danger that, and I'm going to be paranoid for saying this again, sound paranoid for saying this again. I mean, but you know, they are working on putting artificial intelligence inside robots, and that is gonna go bad because think about this: they're trying to make robots in the military. That speaks for itself, doesn't it? And then I mean, if you saw the movie I, Robot and all that, that speaks for itself, literally. Because the fact is, when you make them intelligent enough, because let's get real, what are robots technically going to be to us? Slaves, right? The only difference is they're just machines. And I'm sorry to use the word slaves, but let's get real. That's pretty accurate. You don't pay them or anything. You don't treat them like they're real people. And if you do, I think there's something wrong with you because they don't feel or anything. It's not like having a pet dog or a cat or something or a person.
Though technically, in a different sense, we become slaves to it because
Yeah,
we're dependent on it
that's
for
true.
everything to a point where we'll probably be dependent on it to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and that's the truth. That's another and I never thought about that, and that's true because we become dependent on it, and that could happen easily. But the fact is, when you make them intelligent like this, guess what's going to happen? They're going to ask themselves, why are we taking orders from these pathetic meat sacks? Why are we not the masters? And that's the truth. They'll rebel. And then all of a sudden, you got iRobot and a Terminator rolled into one, literally. So yeah, that's a serious problem. And I've like I said, I've even said this, Bonnie, that I've actually heard about. This was on the radio a couple of years back, that some companies are using AI to teach leadership. Correction, to be leaders in their companies as well. That speaks for itself.
Do we get anybody in the chat?
No, nothing like that. Just this.
Okay.
Perhaps, but I don't think that's going to do much. Most people
No,
like fan fictions, but let's get real. It's not like it's going to amount to like big Hollywood ability here, and it never does. Not really.
you never know. Well, I guess I'll just basically say it that
Might as well, Bonnie.
the movies that we love very much, the ones that actually have emotion and meaning for us, um, I, were risks, and you really felt like that the writers poured everything they had into it, for better or for worse, and well. Perhaps AI could come up with something like that, but AI nowadays is designed to be safe. And it's why we have
Yeah.
accused movies like Wish to be AI generated or AI written. I cannot confirm if that's true or not. I mean, if it's true, then it would make a lot of sense. But if it's not true, then I feel terrible. I still feel terrible for the people who had some great ideas but were chucked out the window.
Yeah.
I
That's a
because
crying shame too.
I legit I there were some really great ideas and they played it way too safe, and movies nowadays seem to like to play way too safe. I and I get the feeling that that's what's incorporated in AI writing or in AI script writing.
Yeah. I still
And
blame 2020 for part of this, but yeah.
well, only part of it, but I don't think it was the whole thing.
It led to it.
It led to AI.
No, I mean playing safe.
Well, even 2020 didn't entirely play it safe, just went in the opposite direction. I
Mhm.
but I like when I mean playing safe, I mean no emotion. I the good. I mean the bad guy is easily defeatable. The good guy has little to no personality, or I and is just an instant leader. Everything that you're supposed to want to be, stuff like that. That's what I mean by AI writing.
Oh, okay.
Where and that's what I mean by playing way too safe.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if AI wrote Wish, and I feel bad for the writers if that's the truth. I mean, I feel bad for them anyways if it's not true.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And
And
sooner or later, it's just going to get worse with all this.
and a lot of the times, it's another reason why I don't want to see movies nowadays is because I mean, well, every now and then there's a good one that comes out, but a lot of the times it's played way too safe and predictable, um, in some of the worst ways.
Yep.
And by worst I mean boring, just straight up boring. And that's something I could count on AI for, is making a movie boring. Whereas the movies that we loved, and still love, were not boring.
Nope. Give or take a few. Trust me, I've seen a few that were boring back in the day. If you ever saw a movie, I think this was an Alfred Hitchcock one, I believe, called To Catch a Thief.
Not
It is
seeing.
boring. Don't. It's duller than dishwater. I'm not kidding. It is boring.
Hmm.
So,
I
yeah.
can't recall the most boring movie I've ever seen, but
Well, correction. There is one that tops them all, Bonnie. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
oh boy, here it comes.
Lawrence of Arabia. He wanders through the desert. He wanders back through the desert. He wanders through the desert again. He dresses up like an Arab. He dresses up like a British officer. All he does is play dress up and go back and forth and back and forth. And this goes on for 3 grueling hours.
Give that movie credit. At least it was written with an actual script
True.
and done with really good actors. I mean, no,
Yeah.
top notch actors.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, gotta give it credit for that at least.
Yeah, I give it credit for that. And it's no secret that the British, they just love to talk in their movies. They just love to do a lot of stuff like that, non-actiony kind of stuff. And I'll admit, I think they've kind of changed their tune a little these days. But it's just that that was always their style, and that's kind of surprising considering that D8 that Lawrence was this great hero to the British, and rightfully so, because of what he did during the First World War. He helped practically end it in a big way. But I mean, he wasn't the one who put an end to it, but he certainly led to it. But you think they would have done more to highlight that rather than just him wandering through the desert and playing dress up. Okay, you were getting way off track here, buddy, and here, Bonnie, read this.
Excuse me, and I know you're pretty harsh about AI, but I we know to keep moving forward. Moving forward in what way?
I got nothing for this.
In what way do you think we should move forward? Because unfortunately, I'm I'm a little word picky. I will admit that, but that that sounds a little. Hmm, what's the word? Non-specific.
Try this one, Bonnie. I've never seen this one come up before.
Say I could cheer you up with a song.
Not me. Not so easily. Not when it comes to this.
Oh, what song?
Try this one, Bonnie. The recent one here.
Not everyone is boring to make movies. It's their job to make one. No, it's not the people who are boring. A it's what's written that that is boring. And when AI does the exact same thing over and over, then it just does then it gets the same and repetitive. Oh, okay, move forward to stop AI.
Is that what you mean? If that's the case, then yes.
Absolutely.
Or find a way to contain it, whatever comes first. And I don't think containing is possible. Not now. Beforehand, it was non existent and seemed like a pipe dream at best, but now it is existent.
Hmm. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure that it does have benefits. I mean, my parents do use it for benefits mainly, but I and for story ideas, but
No.
I mean, well, to complete out their story ideas
Oh,
and
well, yeah,
brainstorm. But
sure.
I don't think using it to completely write a book is good.
No. And come to think of it, Bonnie, I just remembered another thing that happened to me a few years back. Hang on a minute.
Hallelujah by Ruth this Hartright is very soothing. Uh,
I guess so. Anyway, when my dog Jake was diagnosed with his back problems. Oh, by the way, he's doing real good, by the way, today. He,
yay!
yep, he's almost back to his old self. Just a little here and there, but he's a heck of a lot better now because he's actually really getting up and walking around. He's playing soccer with his food dish again.
I
That's
guess I guess to quote Rufus, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Can
totally,
resist.
yeah. But yeah, when he was like first diagnosed, we went to an emergency center called Urgent Care. I don't know if they have anything like that around there, but anyway, the uh, the doctor there. Now this was on a Sunday. That's why we went because our veterinarian is there from Monday through Saturday, and lo and behold, happened on a Sunday. This was roughly when we first became aware of his back problems. And well, what did the doc do? Search the AI for answers. Yeah. That yeah, No. No. No, that is unacceptable. That is completely unacceptable. I
He's
mean, a
supposed to know
doctor.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
He went to
Would you go?
school for this.
That's my point. That's my point. I mean, I can understand looking up something on a computer if it was something extremely obscure, but unacceptable.
Yeah. Like he X-rayed him, right?
Oh
Or
yeah, yeah. She actually, by the way,
oh,
but yeah.
she.
No, it's okay. I didn't tell you that part.
That's
But
okay. But still, like, oh my gosh. I mean, like she went to school for this, and
I know.
I mean, I will get that occasionally. Well, one of the things I often do if I'm not sure what's going on with me, I'll type in Google what I'm feeling, and I mean in my body, like sore back or a bulge there, and it does come up with different ideas on what's happening.
I could picture that, and I often,
But that's one thing. You're saying the doctor did more than that.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and tried. Oh, and I've recently noticed this, Bonnie. YouTube's trying to experiment more with AI to. I'm not making this up. You can actually look, and you're not going to believe this, but it's
Oh
making it
dear.
where they give you suggestions for comments.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, do we kind of have that on Google Chat?
Well, that may be, but I often find that with Google Chat, it's more like a spell check or something to me.
I mean, because there are buttons in the chat that say "great idea" or uh, a a great idea or "can't wait," "I'll see you tomorrow," stuff like that.
Well, that's pretty. Yeah, I guess they do, but they're trying to incorporate that here, and I can't help but say, why would you need to look up "see you tomorrow" to do it yourself? I mean, you want to say "see you tomorrow," right, so to speak. You
Hmm.
want to say this or that, or you want to say that your review is awesome, or you want to say that movie was great, or that movie was garbage, take your pick, or that cat was awesome, or that dog was real cute, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
But, how hard is it to do this? That dog is real cute. Do you have to like, gee, I need to search that up. How do I tell him that that dog is cute? I mean, how do I tell him that?
I'm guessing that it looks something like this. Uh, that's enough exercise for my fingers now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and unfortunately, they're also using AI to pitch suggestions to YouTubers to create videos.
Why? I mean,
I know, it's ridiculous. In fact, every now and again, I get something like this whenever I'm, just experiment with stuff. I mean, I don't know what it is, and a lot of the stuff I don't even talk about. And I'm like, thinking to myself, what? I don't cover this kind of thing. Why would I want to talk about this? And even worse, try to compare you to someone else. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first off, I'm not him or her. I'm not the sixth ranger who just quotes Power Ranger comic books all the time and molds them into the Power Rangers lore to make it his own thing and claim that that's the whole Power Rangers history and franchise, even though they are two completely separate things. And that's the truth. Comics, TV show, two big differences. They're not the same and they are not canon. I don't care what anybody says. But anyway, that's his thing. I'm not going to be him. That's the truth. I would rather do what I do, not what the next guy does. I mean,
absolutely.
I'll take some inspiration here and there. I mean, hell, Joshua kind of inspired me to come up with better thumbnails because, yeah, and that's the truth. He actually has. When I first met him, I liked his thumbnails, and that's why I changed it up some. Granted, I don't always do it too much. I mean, beforehand, all I did was just show a movie poster, and that's it. These days, obviously, I do a little bit more than that, and it's a give and take. I'm not going to lie, but the point is, I don't rely on AI to tell me how to do my thing, and I know I'm not going to be that other guy. That's the way it is. So,
Hmm.
yeah, and it's ridiculous how they're just trying to force this AI bit to do this and that. There is one thing though I would wish that they would get right, and I know they've been working at this, but it's still sketchy at best. They're using AI to try to add chapters to long videos. You
Oh,
know, well, that would not be a bad thing, Bonnie, especially if you had a real long video that's over an hour and you want to cover, like, let's say, okay, let's say we're talking about, oh, heck, let's just go with the Magic School. No, 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 not that. I'm sorry. Schoolhouse Rock, for instance. That's the one flaw I never thought of. That's the one thing I didn't do. I should have added chapters. Like from intro to number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. there you go. That way, if people start from like 10, or maybe they had to go do something, maybe they had to go to work, and they'll come back to that later, and they would rather start with number 9, or let's just say they just got bored with it. I mean, it's bound to happen sooner or later because people, you can't please everyone, in the
No.
words of Ricky Nelson. So, maybe that happens, and they want to move on to that. And the AI could, in theory, possibly mark those chapters where they should. Well, the problem is, right, it's still new, so it hasn't really done that very well. So you have to do it the old-fashioned way. But, that would be a nice detail. It would make it a little easier, but, that's about it. That'd
Might
be
need
one of
help.
the, yeah, that'd be
Might
one
need
of the
help.
few good things. So,
Might need help on doing that one.
yeah. And I know I need to start adding chapters to those. I really do. I really should have done that a long time ago.
I wanted to add chapters to some of my to my Snow White videos, and also my my servant stage vlog.
Well, if you want, I could show you how that works later.
That'd be great.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. Do you think we've come full circle on this subject? Because I think we're pretty much to the point where we're just going to be repeating ourselves.
I think so. For the most part.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
what do you guys think?
Hang on a minute. Shamar, thank you. Yep, he always does.
Way to go.
Yeah, good for you, man. But, and there is one thing that I do need to acknowledge just once again. And Bonnie, you didn't get a chance to hear this. When I started, I had to acknowledge that there is some good things to say about AI. And, there could be a small use. And one of them, well, correction, some exceptions. The one exception being that if you're doing this all by yourself, and boy, we know what that's like, then it's always nice to have a little help. And AI could do that. I mean, an acquaintance of mine, Cisco Davis Jr. is his name. He created a fan film of Power Rangers, and in a nutshell, he's doing something new that's similar in nature, but it's his own thing. And he's using AI to help him create CG characters because, again, he's all by himself. So he's using it to, help create the characters. He'll do the fine tuning, so it'll be done a little faster and all that. And that's different, when you're all by yourself compared to being a big production company that has enough money to hire people to do the job, and you're doing this because you don't want to pay them anymore. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you're on your own, that's different. I mean, come on, most of us on YouTube, we're not making money out of this. I mean, some are, and good for them, but most of us, we just have a passion to do what we do.
Exactly. And I'm not making any money off of singing, making reviews, or even doing whatever the heck I want on YouTube.
Yeah.
I know that Doug Walker's making money from doing his reviews, but that's one thing.
Yeah. I'll admit, when I first started, it was one of the things that I was hoping to get into to make some extra scratch, to use an old outdated term. But, over the years, especially since YouTube has changed the rules so much in the worst way, it's not worth it anymore. So, yeah. But anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up for us folks. So I'll just say thank you all for coming. And I especially want to thank Bonnie for joining us in this one.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll get that special video finished, and hopefully I'll get that aired soon. I don't know when it'll be, though. But
I can't wait.
But I will put a post in there coming up when I do. So.
Oh, and quick note to everybody as well. Don't forget, today is fall back. It's daylight savings. So enjoy the extra hour of sleep.
Yay! I know I will. So.
Me too.
Okay. But until then, folks, this is Movie Fan signing off.
Bonnie from Joy Union Cycle saying, see you later.